that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Mr. President, in the year 2015, with a political campaign finance system that is corrupt and that is increasingly controlled by billionaires and special interests, I fear very much that, in fact, government of the people, by the people, for the people, is perishing in the United States of America.
Oh, we're going to get to him momentarily. It would appear as if that new set of shades didn't do much to get former Texas Governor Rick Perry a jolt in the polls. It's now, in one instance, a pleasure to work for free in seeking his election. This has you get the feeling Hillary Clinton is going to need a lot more cash to fend off the cagey curmudgeon Bernie Sanders. Merely scratching the surface for this edition of The Political Animal. From the left, senior political contributor at Forbes, co-host of The Daily Wrap, seen writer on Newsmax, weeknights at 6 Eastern, Rick Ungar. Toe-to-toe from the right, nationally syndicated radio talker emanating from KXL FM101 in Portland, Oregon, Lars Larson. Gentlemen, always a pleasure to see you both. Lars, I'm going to begin with you. Let me get right to Rick Perry here. Time to hang him up. Come on, let's be honest.
It's really tough when you can't pay your campaign crew, and when you tell them they've got to work for nothing, that just does not function. Although it's funny that I thought I had high hopes for his campaign. He's a good man.
But why would you have high hopes? I mean, it didn't seem as if he was really coming into this whole debate season with any kind of momentum whatsoever.
No, he didn't have a lot, because I think a lot of people still held it against him that the last time around, when he ran the last time, and he was just coming off back surgery, apparently he was still taking some of the pain pills and all. He was not the most exciting candidate on the campaign trail, but I was hoping that he would deliver better. If he hasn't, well, that's part of the system for choosing a president.
Well, choosing a president, here we go from the left now. Hey, Rick, 27,000 people show up to see Bernie Sanders in Los Angeles. The Clinton campaign can say all they want, but this guy is gaining major traction here. The Democrats have issues now with Sanders. They're really going to have to go head on with him because he's a force to be reckoned with. I don't think anybody saw this coming.
No, nobody could have seen the interest that he's been generating. I don't entirely agree that Bernie Sanders is a primary voting force to be reckoned with. I think he could possibly do well in Iowa. I don't think he'll win Iowa. He could win New Hampshire. I think it starts to get very difficult for him when we get down into those southern state primaries. But there's no question that he's putting pressure on Hillary Clinton. He's forcing her to take positions, and that, man, I mean, I haven't seen anything like this since I was much younger and I was on the campaign trail for Eugene McCarthy. He's really, really attracting people.
Let's talk about issues here for a moment. You just said that. Take positions here, I guess, Rick. And first of all, from the left with Bernie Sanders, is he going to force Hillary Clinton to come out and really say things that maybe she doesn't want to? She said a few things, but you get the feeling now that she's got to take some chances and really get a foot out there.
Well, look, she doesn't really have to take chances per se, not yet. Look, her unfavorables are terrible, but the reality is you ask most Democrats who they'll vote for, and they'll vote for Hillary. I think the real question, or at least the one that fascinates me, will Bernie Sanders' success drive Joe Biden into the race, or even somebody we're not thinking of, although it's hard to see who that somebody might be. I'm watching to see, and we're going to see it pretty soon, whether or not Bernie Sanders' effect, we'll call it the Bernie Sanders effect, will push Joe Biden to enter the race.
All right, now I'm going to come to you, Lars, and to get the right side of this, because let's just say, I mean, Joe Biden is hopefully any day now, he's going to make some kind of an announcement. He gets in the race. Sanders is in the race. Hillary Clinton is, of course, the front runner right now. From the right, who do you think you would have the most difficulty with in defeating, no matter who the GOP candidate is?
Well, I've always thought that the Clinton crime family was very good at campaigning. Now, Hillary is not nearly the campaigner that Bill Clinton was, but when you think about the kind of operation they've run at the foundation, hundreds of millions of dollars, peddling influence from the State Department, I mean, they've done it very well. It's criminal, and she belongs in an orange jumpsuit in jail, but how do you compete against Santa Claus? That's what Bernie Sanders is. He pulled 28,000 in a crowd in Portland, the town I broadcast from, because he's promising free everything for everyone. And this is going to force Hillary to say, well, how are you going to match free everything for everyone paid for by, I don't know, unicorn dust? whatever it happens to be. So if Joe Biden jumps in, does he become the adult in the room with Hillary trying to compete with Bernie Sanders? It doesn't make any sense. And frankly, how do you take these people seriously when they say we're a country almost $19 trillion in debt, but we can afford to borrow more to have free college, increased Social Security benefits, as I said, free everything for everyone, and nobody pays the bill. That's not a group of adults.
I have never seen Ungar bite his tongue like this before. It's falling out of his face here in a minute. By the way, Rick, I only got 60 seconds. Rick, but 1 sec. 60 seconds left, but I want you to answer this and then come back real quick here. Isn't it right to say that Hillary Clinton has lost the election right now? She has lost the support of the rapper Little B, the based god, who last year did a shout-out to Bill Clinton. Little B says he's no longer going for Hillary. She's absolutely lost. Now go ahead.
He's for Bernie now. Yeah, it's probably over. I agree. Once the rappers turn on, I got to ask our friend Lars a question.
Okay.
Why is it that people who tend to lean to the right and claim to love America, they wave the flag, they're all about the United States, and then they call people criminals without the benefit of a trial and a conviction? It really, I always
20
wonder
seconds,
about
Lars.
that.
20 seconds,
Somebody's
Lars.
not a criminal until they're convicted of a crime.
But to be convicted, you have to be accused, and the Attorney General of this country, Loretta Lynch, in no way, shape, or form is going to bring the appropriate criminal charges that should be brought.
Be that as it may, she's not a criminal. Be that as it may, and there's other people who could. Nobody in the United States of America, even those on the right, are criminals until they're convicted of a crime.
I tell you what, unfortunately, we are out of time. I hate when this happens, but I'll tell you what, first time we've had you two guys together, we're doing this one again really soon. We're going to pick it up right from here. Rick Ungar, Daily Wrap, Newsmax, weeknight, 6 p.m. Eastern. Lars Larson, go to larslarson.com, see where you can hear his show around the country.